get into the swing of things. In this little episode, I want to talk about getting into the swing of things and how you can use this idiom, this expression, to supersize and grow your business. Getting into the swing of things. Actually, I didn't realize how long this expression's been around and a part of our culture and our lives. It was actually around since the 1500s. Okay, anything that's been with us as human beings and societies for hundreds of years is bound to impact our thinking, our feeling, our way of being and doing things and acting, right? So we need to understand it. Where does this come from and how can we use this in our favor? Because we're trying to change the world with our businesses. At least I hope you are. That's what I'm trying to do. And even if you're not changing the whole big world, you're at least trying to change your world, your family's world with your business. And that's as important as changing the entire world, because that's how we change the world. One business at a time, one family at a time, one thing at a time, right? So getting into the swing of things, how can we use this to our benefit? Number one, again, it's been around since the 1500s, started out as in full swing, and it was changed in the 1800s. I don't know who changed it or why, probably because back then science was more prominent and pendulums and things were being discussed, and, you know, a child swing, kids had swings. So somehow somebody decided that getting into the swing of things meant getting involved, getting acclimated, getting, I like to say, indoctrinated into something. Maybe you're getting indoctrinated into a relationship, a marriage, a family. When we get married, we get indoctrinated into another family. Whether we like it or not, when we marry somebody, we don't get just them unless they're an only child and all of their family is dead, or they're an orphan and all their family has no longer been around. We get a whole new culture, a whole new world that we need automatically become a part of. And we can get into the swing of it by participating and being involved in it. Or we can choose to not get into the swing of it. We can choose to not participate. I'm going to tell you right now, I've decided that there's certain things and certain drama that I just don't participate in anymore. And that's in my own family. So we definitely don't have to pick it up in other families. But this is true of every environmental change, everything that we get involved in, including our own companies, our own businesses. Now, the cool thing about having your own company and your own business is you set the tone, you set the culture, you decide what the environment's going to be like. And if you don't like it, you're the one that's going to have to change it. It's going to have to be a top-down thing. I've been in corporate America and in businesses long enough to understand that in 99% of the cases, change, real cultural change, real change in a business, in an environment, a work environment, comes from the top. It doesn't come from the bottom up, it comes from the top down. And we can argue with that all we want, but the truth is those at the top have the power to make change, and hopefully they're making change for the good of everyone else in the organization. Not always so, we know that as well. But getting into the swing of things is important, that you set up systems and ways of doing things in your company that do create and breed the culture that you want. Have a vision, share that vision. Have processes and procedures and systems in place that people can use and follow and continuously improve in order to do their job, to participate, to know where they fit in, to help ensure that everyone in your organization is moving in the same direction, that they're all following your vision, the vision that you've set for the organization, the direction you want to go as a company. And you might be your board of directors, but you know what I mean. I mean, you as the CEO, leader, owner of the organization, or the founder of the organization have a huge impact on that. I've worked in a lot of different environments and different corporate cultures. I've had a lot of times in my corporate career, I was brought in as a change agent. Now, being a woman and a woman manager in my positions in a lot of the organizations I worked for automatically made me a change agent. Sometimes it was good. Sometimes it was really painful, because a couple of the organizations I worked for, it was really painful. One had absolutely no value for diversity, not just women, men diversity, but diversity of any kind. And that was one where I came in and we actually did diversity training with human resources to change the culture of that organization. Other were work practice and work habits that had deteriorated or changed over time as the industry had changed. I worked in a manufacturing company where right out of college, my first job was to manage teams in one of the best manufacturing companies in the world. And they had fallen into a pattern of what they called half on, half off. Was they would work 30 minutes on the floor, the manufacturing floor, and then they would work 30 minutes off, because the team sizes had remained the same, or the departments that we ran, sizes have remained the same. And we ended up going to a team-based system and culture where people were paid based on the skills they had in that culture. And that was our way of breaking that half on, half off mentality that had grown over 25 years. So getting into the swing of things and getting indoctrinated into the culture, it can happen really, really fast. And it's awesome if it happens and all of the majority of the rituals and the norms that are in your organization are positive and building your business. But there are things that develop over time, even in fantastic manufacturing businesses and organizations, that aren't for the good of the people or the company. It is not good for anyone to go on a half on, half off cycle of work, because I can't even go into all the psychology and the physical things around that, but it isn't. And as automation and things came into that organization, some things stayed the same that should have changed as different changes came into the organization, but they never did. So make sure that the routines and the rituals and the environment and the norms of your organization are what you want for your business. Make sure that you're creating the culture that you want for your business. And if you don't know how to do that, get help with that. Bring in people that will help you do that. I purposely manicured and created a culture in my Italian food manufacturing business based on the experience I had working for other businesses. There were things that we did that became, automatic as technology changed. Cell phones came into play. Cell phones were not allowed ever on the manufacturing floor. You couldn't have your cell phone. If you had an emergency or something going on, you would excuse yourself to the break room to check your phone periodically, but you did not have your cell phone on the floor. Now, it helped that we were a food plant, and so I could fall back on, hey, USDA will not allow us to have any of these things in here. And there were other things that I did allow us to do that made sense and made the culture better. So you get to control that. You get to write the narrative that you want for your organization. And I'm going to say you absolutely positively want to do that. So what are some of the things that you've run across getting into the swing of things, joining a new environment? Everybody's been to high school, right? We've all had to go through that, getting used to and finding where we fit in that, finding our environment, finding our people. And this happens in every situation, every time we make a change. But the cool thing about having your business is you get to choose what that routine is going to be like. You choose how people get into the swing of things and what the swing of things is going to be for your business. That would be one more thing I would add is make sure that you have an onboarding process. When you bring new people into your organization, make sure you set them up for success. And I actually do this, have a person that mentors them if it's not you. Have a person that teaches them about everything they need to know to be successful in your organization. Not only will it help your company to succeed faster and easier, but it will also make the people that you bring on board want to stay longer and want to be a part of your culture, want to be a part of your company, want to be a part of what it is that you're doing and growing to change the world. That's it. Making an awesome day. I was going to say autastic, which is an awesome and fantastic day combined. And I'll, of course, be with you tomorrow with another interesting perspective or way of looking at things that you can do in your business based on expressions and idioms and sayings that we all experience on a regular basis. Because if it's something that we experience, if it's something that's in our environment and in our culture, it's definitely impacting our businesses and the way we think and feel. And we want to be able to positively have an impact on that, not just go with the flow of what's going on in the world. All right, catch you tomorrow.